All right, folks. I wanted to talk a little bit about the big news of the day, which is Elon Musk going on the record and putting out details about some very interesting information surrounding the initial suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop story on Twitter. Now, earlier today, Elon Musk posted on Twitter what really happened with the Hunter Biden story. Suppression by Twitter will be published on Twitter at 5 p.m. Eastern. Now, it ended up coming out a little later than that, but anyways, it came out, at least part of it. So apparently, Elon Musk is going through this guy named Matt Taibbi, who is a longtime journalist. He's worked for a number of publications. He has quite the interesting backstory. I won't get into it all here, but you can look him up. He's definitely an interesting guy. Definitely has a lot of credibility on the as sort of an independent type journalist. I think he's historically been considered to be somebody on the left that hasn't quite gone off the deep end as most of the left has at this point. Um, but a few highlights here. He posted a very long thread on Twitter, which was an interesting way to get this information out. Um, Basically starts here. The Twitter files, part one: how and why Twitter blocked the Hunter Biden laptop story. October 14th, 2020, the New York Post published Biden's secret emails and expose based on the contents of the Hunter Biden abandoned laptop. Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links and posting warnings that it may be, quote, unsafe. They even blocked its transmission via direct message, a tool hitherto reserved for extreme cases such as child pornography. White House spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story, prompting a furious letter from Trump campaign staffer Mike Hahn, who seethed at least pretend to care for the next 20 days. This led public policy executive Carolyn Strom to send out a polite WTF query. Several employees noted that there was tension between the comms policy teams, who had little or less control over moderation, and the safety trust teams. Strom's note returned the answer that the laptop story had been removed for violation of the company's, quote, hacked material policy. Although several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. The decision was made at the very highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal, policy, and trust Vijaya Gad playing a key role. They just freelanced it, is how one former employee characterized the decision. Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that wasn't going to hold, but no one had the guts to reverse it. You can see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange, which ends up involving Gad and former trust and safety chair Yoel Roth. Comms official Trenton Kennedy writes, I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe. So basically, whoever this Trenton Kennedy guy is saying, are we really supposed to do this? It doesn't violate any of our policies. By this point, everyone knew this was fucked, said one former employee, but the response was essentially to err on the side of continuing to err. Former VP of Global Comms Brandon Borman asked, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy? To which former Deputy General Counsel Jim Baker again seems to advise staying the non course because caution is warranted. A fundamental problem with tech companies and content moderation: many people in charge of speech know or care little about speech and have to be told the basics by outsiders. To wit, in one humorous exchange on day one, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna reaches out to Gad to gently suggest she hop on the phone to talk about the backlash. RE speech. Khanna was the only Democrat official I could find in the files who expressed concern. Um, but yeah, this is very interesting, and you're seeing the mainstream media react just as you would expect. they're going to twist it. They're going to defend it. They're going to say there's nothing there, when clearly there's a lot there. And I think this is a very interesting strategy by Elon Musk to release this information. He's not really doing it himself. He's doing it through this Matt Taibbi guy, which is very interesting. And it's a slow drip. So I think what's going to happen is this is going to continue to ramp up. You're going to see more information come out. Um, so a lot of the media right now is saying, "Oh, there's nothing there. This isn't a big deal," but more and more is going to continually drip, leak, come out, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, especially with the Republicans taking control of the House next year. You know, perhaps they can subpoena people and get people under oath and really try to get to the bottom of a lot of this, because it's very clear based on some of the information, and I wasn't going to spend all day here reading all this. You can obviously find that on Twitter, but there was clearly a direct line from the Biden team to Twitter, which we can only assume continued and ramped up after Biden actually became president. Now we haven't got there yet with what Elon has put out there, which is going to be interesting, because I think what we're going to find out is that this was even worse than anybody can imagine. This was bad, and it very clearly had been for a long time. Now a lot of this confirms what we had thought, but it does confirm it. So you know we don't have to talk about this in hypothetical terms anymore. So very interesting. But I'm also curious to know what you all think. What do you think of Elon's strategy to release this information through a third party, and also to do it at what's seemingly going to be over several days, maybe weeks, um, because people have short attention spans, and if you just put everything out there at once, um, the news cycle is quickly going to move on, and this won't continue to be on the top of everyone's mind. So I think it's a good strategy the way he's going about it. But clearly, we're in the middle of this, so we'll see how it plays out. But let me know what you all think, and I'll see you on the next one.